像是太美，怎么才能让自己活下去？不相信我不知道该怎么去相信。怎么才能让自己活下去？不相信我不知道该怎么去相信。别向我睁开双眼，我都会看见是一样的世界。回到了原点，想倒退很快捷，自然的反应是相同的结果。我回到了原点，一样的世界，我不管你是谁，背叛我就给我滚。这是我的想法，像法律不能改写，沉浸在交错，向往落寞在时间里，是回到了原点。
Lasers.
Tell them, gotta step back. Tell them, alright, toughy. Tell them, push them off, no fee. Tell them, backward. Tell them, hear me now, move from there. Tell them, like, yeah.
Hey, mister, I don't have to real hustle of them. Hey, Ben here, bro. I trace one, watch out.
hello. Check, check, sound check. Let me know how's the volume, so we know everything's working. Also, we'll probably switch. What I learned is that it's either music or you talk, because then together it's very hard to find balance. So, what do you think? Going to switch off music while talking. Let's try that. Right. This one is here. This one is here. Love my couch space. Definitely broke the moment of having any kind of workspace. It feels nice that you can do it anywhere. Hello Andre. Hello Andrew. Hello Ollie. Gulag. Orange. Maxim. Sete. Matthias. Pra. Don. Hi everyone. Every week, no matter what's happening, I'm looking forward to this moment. It's my favorite time of the week. We can connect, talk, and something will come up. It's always does. So I like that, and kind of also feel way easy about just scrolling or doing stuff. We're just here hanging out and talking. I'm also practicing my English, trying to speak clear, slow, thoughtful. So, Sebastian, hi. Hey, Alice. Workspace. Today we have some things. It was crazy week for everyone, of course, and crazy stuff happening in the world. It was also quite a heavy week for us internally, because nothing bad, thanks God, this time. It's all good. That's actually amazing. Just a lot of updates. Everyone really pushing hard. We finally caught some wave, some vibe. So there are a lot of updates coming. I keep saying there's a preview. Yeah, the noise is from the computer. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. Right, few updates. I was disconnected for a second. I think maybe that's why there's noise. It's going hard. Anyway, this week was amazing. Hard for many people. For us, it's very hard emotionally. Shit is happening. I mean, I will talk about this definitely. I just have to talk about it to myself, I guess. A little, but good stuff. We are updating a lot of things. As you see, the sync is in dark mode now. This is we launched it on Tuesday, just to be in solidarity with the movement. This is going to be dark mode. It's going to work automatically. Then you daylight, it's back to normal. Dark mode is this one. Shout out to Andre for really pushing crazy this week, and don't miss his streams on Monday. He's doing some, on location stuff. I don't know how he do it because we have no live stream, so somehow he doing it from the middle of the river, So it's fun. Every Monday, Andre update us on software stuff and beyond, of course. I guess how we say digital software and spiritual software. Yeah, we updated this. Now it's dark mode here, and we keep it for now. And it's going to be those two modes, and that's all in preparation for Lot Sound. We are approaching this big moment in our life where we add in a new module here. This is the first module we add in since this whole collapse, right? And it's going to be digital module. And shout out to RVK guys, Will, Yannick, Leo. They working very hard on this vision, and I'm super excited because I've seen it. I've listened to music. I've seen some stuff, and it's mind-blowing, honestly. So that's why we kind of in preparation for launching this Lot Sound. I can't hype it enough because, guys, imagine we're launching our own record label, and it's according to the system. It's not that we're launching it. It's this third party, right? Some other group using Lot platform to launch a record label. I'm not going to reveal the price point. I'm not going to reveal how it works and how it looks. It's for other team members. But I guess I can spoil a little bit the update. And again, this is not up to me. It's there's people working on this, and that's their segment. Shout out to Matthijs for pushing community and working on organizing everything together. So we now have organized YouTube. We're doing emails every Sunday. So I hope you caught the last Sunday email. So, but anyway, the spoiler. On Monday, we're sending this press release to selected music publications and kind of previewing them what's going to happen. 15th of June, everyone at Lot will see the teaser. So probably that same press release will go to Lot users. 22nd of June, we plan right now, again, anything can go, but now we try to be more organized, and on 22nd June we plan to have open subscription for Lot Sound, so spread the word. It'll be nice. It's important, you will have to have Lot OS subscription, so you build up. Without community, you have no access to sync, therefore you have no access to Lot Sound. The price point will be adequate, so we want this to be success, we want this to make money, and I'm being as direct as possible. This is not a charity. We want this to work, and we want to pay artists, and we want to not make it some kind of like pay what you will, like this. No. We work hard, and we want this to be a monthly package, digital package at this point. Eventually it can be non-digital package, sound experience, music experience. So we will charge money, and that music will not, and that content will not be available on any other platform. That is the first type of the content that's available besides our behind the scenes stuff. That's the first stuff that will be available only through sync. I'm sounding like a salesman, but I'm just trying to be clear, you know. So it's like I'm just excited that we are close to this deadline. And 26th of June, we plan to have this mega stream where the team, the crew, will reveal the lot sound, and there will be probably some live mix and answering your questions in detail about music industry, about where it's going, about why this is even happening, why they chose lot to experiment. So it's going to be interesting. So this month we dedicate to music, to sound, and it always was a big part of the of lot. You know, we always thought that it's like you know, you design a car and people buy a car not because it drives well, most likely. A lot of times people buy a car because it sounds good, and so you know, lot experience would be not lot experience without music and sound. That's 20-30% of the whole thing. So again, it makes sense that we're launching that sound first on this new system. This is just a preview, some graphics from what's coming. Again, very proud, very happy. It's just tip of the iceberg. Also, what's happening in the middle of months, we're going to update everyone on shipment. Still, the international air is closed. We cannot fly. Parcels cannot fly on adequate price, so we're looking to update you guys in the middle of June. Nothing yet. We're still in the pandemic, apparently. And on 29 June, and we're going to talk about it more, Matai is going to talk about it more, we will be holding this party that we wanted to hold from, I looked, it was almost 3 years ago, and we didn't know that 3 years ago, we didn't know that there would be pandemic here, but it's here. Just a sec. Yeah, so we're going to hold this party, connecting to Mark Kramer's Thomas Traum, and it will be this dedication to that iconic place. It's not, I heard from Mark, it's not the same. It's kind of in a way different, and maybe even gone, let's say, but it will be another interesting moment this summer, this June, where we're going to have a, I don't know, we will figure out, Larry is working on this. We're going to have a party for all users. So basically everyone will be invited. It will be this mega online party. Let's see how we will do it, but it's going to be amazing. So we're keeping our word. The party is there. You invited. It's going to be fun. Again, no music. Haha. Right. I asked Claire to send. I just wanted to continue the thought. Music was and is an extremely big part of LOT. And if you're a user that received physical packages, you know that you would receive a new product and you will scan QR code and you'll go to product page like this. And you see this perfume oil has still I still can learn this. Anyway, this perfume oil, let's say have. See, some people try so hard to speak well, and I can't even speak English. So if you ever worry about your language or accent, don't worry. It's who cares? Here we have the playlist that works with this perfume oil, and you know, Maria, Masha, who worked on the scent, the nose, Lera, product design, and RDK, they worked on this, not just like put some songs together, but it actually works together. And to me, that's mind-blowing, you know, that we had this, and it's a manual to how to use product with the music. And you know, Lera will be back with her streams soon. We're just extremely busy. Her day is Thursday. She will talk more about LOT, past, future product, and there's so much stuff that is hidden in a way, you know, that was built, and we just continued what we started, but on next dimension with this sound thing. So yeah, enough of advertisement. It's happening, guys. It's happening. What else was this week? Let me read the questions. Hi from Toronto, Canada. Hello from right now from Moscow. Yo, your English is 10 of 10. Thank you. Yeah, the noise I can't fix, unfortunately, you know. Corey asks, Ellis Hamburger, formerly from The Verge? Yes, Ellis is a big supporter from day one. A user, a power user, someone who helped us tremendously over years. So, and fun fact, Ellis started this whole thing by reporting Lapka on The Verge. Let's open this piece of history. That was big. It's, you know, it's interesting universe we're talking here, because this is December 11, 2012, quite a long time ago, and that was Ellis Hamburger piece, and it was extremely different, you know, because it was, I keep like, I think he's annoyed at this point, but I keep referring to this because it wasn't like, you know, this typical like some bullshit article. It was like really trying to understand what we're doing. And back then, I remember we came to the studio, The Verge, the product wasn't even working. Like we were just like, it was like, I don't know, it was second day in America. We had no idea what's going on. And so we talked there English way worse than right now. And he just like get into that, you know, and write this article. And this article really told us what it is. And I really think that's really the job of the journalist, you know, to help everyone understand what the fuck is going on, not just to like readers, but to even to us, like we're like, oh, that's what we're doing, thank you. So that storytelling is next level. It's funny, we have here Matt Webb, right? This is article I want to talk about. We have this Matt Webb here, and Alice did another thing with Matt Webb, which another mega piece was for Little Printer, really underrated. And again, it's important because nobody gets it. Like, you basically have this product, no one really understands it, and it's not. I'm saying it not because it's a bad product, but because it was really ahead of its time. There are a lot of products that are ahead of its time, like electric cars and stuff. And Alice was the one who like, no, guys, this is it. That's the shit. And it was really important article. I remember just reading this and being like, fuck, this is an answer. See, it goes deep into samples, why it's important. So it's big deal. Like, look at this phone. And Alice's power user flow helped a lot, and Matt Webb is advisor to a lot now. We didn't know each other, so universe is really interesting. Now Matt Webb working, helping us. We have call here and there, and just he helped a lot to us as well, to Lapka and to a lot. So I can't be more grateful for the universe, for these connections, because guys, when we're going to make it, just know it's a big effort from a lot of people, and we're all pushing this further, and we're pushing this for years now. Like, it's 8 years ago, shit, and we're still pushing this. We're still trying to tell the story, and we didn't change a bit. We're just making it more precise. So really grateful for this piece of history. And it's interesting to tell the stories because you see how everything connected, and there's no dream is big. Like, sitting in Russia, I would never dream of being on The Verge and talking to Alice, and later kind of we're all together in this lot community thing. It's mind-blowing. Didn't get Sunday email. Gulag. Interesting. Interesting. We need to check. Maybe do you subscribe to digital or subscribe to community module? Or if you subscribe at all. So we can debug this. Oli, why have you made the decision needing OS first? Because first of all, because it was extremely hard for us to ship products every month, because we had no major investment. We have only friends and family investment, and at some point we never missed a package, but it was on our side. It was such a sacrifice from everyone, like extreme tragedy and extremely hard. And we took the suffering consciously, of course, because we wanted to give the best experience, but at some point we realized that it's just very hard. So we started working that OS thing, and again, not because it's hard on us, because mathematically, and I'm not the person to talk about it, but mathematically and business-wise, you kind of have a decision either to scale the production part and become like a factory, and sell more stuff and find ways to sell it, because just subscription alone doesn't work, and that old model. So we decided to work on, last summer, we decided a year ago, we decided to work on Lot OS, which is this work where you basically have same package, but it's spread on different subcategories, right? Still an experience, but you can pick which experience you want. You can have self-care, but nothing else, or you might have uniform and self-care. So we also had this problem before we actually built that smart system of personalization. It was very hard to send the right amount. There will be people be like, I received too much, then their next email, I want to receive more, and it's just like it was 50-50. It was impossible to track. Although it was highly personalized, still it was more work to make it just for you, And this will allow you to do it precisely. And also, we wanted to make it local, the local manufacturing. OS allow us to switch some modules on or off in certain locations. For example, you might have socks in California, but no socks anywhere else because we have manufacturer there. That really created an extra layer of, not extra layer. It creates new narrative for a lot of industrial production because we want this to be localized. We don't want it to come from China. Nothing wrong with China. Just it's extremely hard. We're not Apple. We have more than 100 products, almost 200 products, all kind of scales. Some completely custom, some white label, but having hundreds of products and producing them and packing them and fulfilling them is hard thing without major funding. So with modular system, it is easier for us to navigate there. So we can just start with uniform, then add self-care, then switch off uniform. So it's better for you and better for us. It's kind of more long-term. Another thing, that was a subscription in the old way of that, like what other people do now. It's like the copycats, where you subscribe and there's a bill and you pay it. With this system, we call it like liquid pricing. You just update. You never subscribe, you never unsubscribe. There's no such thing. You update your profile page, and next month you receive something else, or you don't receive it. But it's not about It's not about packages. It's about being in touch with community, and you can just add stuff. Like you will be able to add sound soon, and eventually you'll be able to add arc, and hopefully soon we'll be able to add back to uniform in underwear. So this modular system is robust. It's bulletproof. It will work next 10 and maybe 20 years. Like that previous system was dead end. No matter how we tried to simplify it and experiments to make it, less packed, more packed. At some point we split package for 2 packages. We optimized package, and still it was a dead end, unfortunately. And that's a message to everyone else who copying us. Like, it's not going to work, guys. You got to think about something else. And I'm proud to say that we push subscription idea to the next level from subscription. Again, it's not even subscription at this point. It's like a game. You have your avatar here, right? You add your measurements, you add your address, your preferences. You answer questions on the homepage, and you play the game of life, right? You just add things that you need and things you don't. So I can talk about it forever. I talked about it many times. We have written about this. There are videos about that. So this is just a brief answer. But if you're interested, you can look for our YouTube channel, and you'll find a lot of information about that. Not to cut you off, just there are people here who heard it many times, right? And community is the product, right? It's never, I keep saying this, it was never about the products. Products is an addition to community. It was about that protest in a way. And I don't want to appropriate nothing, and I don't want to be just make this fake attachment to what's happening with in America and in the world right now. But from day one, a lot was a protest, and you wearing all black is a protest to that whole system. It's a protest to corporations. It's a protest to this bullshit that happening on the daily, racism, oppression of all kinds, and inequality of all kinds. And to me, that was the community. And we didn't just shout. And again, I'm all for shouting, and I'm all for just burn this fucking system down. Like, don't get me wrong, but we were like, all right, we back then, you know, like 3-4 years ago, we're like, right, I guess we can't do nothing about this system. It's just going to stay. So let's just have this silent process of design, you know, and let's just create this uniform and the system so our people can. And someone put it on Twitter. I'm talking. It's very, very smart. Thank you. Thank you. Someone said on Twitter, Hamad. Shout out to Hamad. That's a nice observation. He said, "It's a fork of society." That's like it's. We never thought about this, but it's exactly what it is. It's a fork of society. We want it to be like, all right, you do your thing, but we and our gang are out of this. You know. We're going to just fork out from this and have our own thing, our own products. It's like, I don't know, Amish, Scientology, call it whatever, it doesn't matter. The point being is that we are out. And we're not out in a way of we're afraid or we're running for something or we're just like angry. No, it's just logically that society is extremely hard to fix. Because it's set on fundamental rules of breaking a human being, right? It's designed to break people down. It's designed to break love. It's designed to break spirit. And so fixing that society is not just doing a nice house at Airbnb, you know, or like having a nice outfit. Fixing that society means changing the fundamentals of how we experience ourselves. And we realized that after trying that at Airbnb, by the way, after trying that with Kanye, we realized, all right, the best way to do this is just do it ourselves. So, yeah, and fork of society, that was the idea. And everything else, products, is support that idea, not other way around. So that's why, no matter how painful it is, it's not that hard for us to say no for now because of this pandemic and everything to products, because it's not about that. It's about bigger mission, and products will come. You know, this is a lifetime journey. Right. Thank you for the question. Never annoyed here for everyone who cares. Yes. Shout out to Alice again. Glenn, newcomer. What up, Alice? Corey. Yeah, so Gulag, if you're a subscriber, then you will receive the email. Sorry about that. Maybe what's happening, we're not adding community subscribers to main list. We'll see, but it's fixable. You receive it this Sunday, and thank you for being here. You are aware of everything anyway. Yeah, we'll publish the email, right? Or we'll find a way. Maybe, yeah, we'll just resend it to everyone who missed it, so we can do this. Martin, Dark Theme. Yeah, I just can't be more happy. It's moving. Yeah, Matthias is helping me. Yeah, it's just one more thought. It's LotOS is like a app store. You know, if you want to think about Lot and rather Arc. And Lot itself is a software, Arc is an iPhone, and this is App Store. So at the beginning, when Apple launched their iPhone, every app was designed by Apple itself or very close community of developers, the best of the best. That's exactly what we're doing. We showed our own apps how they could be. We tested it for 3 years. We know it works. We figure out the formula how to build them. Now we add in selected developers to produce those apps for us, hence the modules, sound, physical products, coffee, food, weed in California. It will be a slow process, but it will happen. And once that passes, the idea that everyone will be able, it's not in a time tomorrow, like it's a year away at least, with funding, without funding it's who knows. But the idea that you will be able to get to this app store as a user and subscribe to local modules that can double with other cities, that can be unique to your city, and that will make it beautiful. Or you can be a maker and download something like SDK made for Apple, right? Like made for love. An SDK, it's a set of rules, set of principles, knowledge base, access to our data, access to user base with all the details in a good way. Not like we're not selling data to, that's the point, we're not selling it to all people. It's like community works for community. So if you're a maker that's ready to do it, we organized this properly. Now you have access to user base and you know what to make, and you're not making it for everyone, you're making it for your community in your city. And we see this kind of explosion of local makers with small batches. That's what we want to get into. We want to provide platform for those people so they don't go and sell. But basically you're making something new and then you sell it on all platforms. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Even Instagram is like, it's not it. And now the only way for those makers with small batches go to Instagram, but Instagram is dead end. It's obvious now for everyone. So we want to provide this platform and you're not going to Amazon also, because you'll be hacked by hypergrowth people. So what if this is a platform for those makers where they can make from textile, food, accessories, self-care products, cosmetics, and sell it, distribute it rather, through the community. And that's the number one factor. It's not that everyone can access to it, it's only people who get it. And we feel like that's a big limitation, obviously. We're going to limit a lot of people out, but that's the goal. I keep saying that people forget that Apple started as a graphic design company. And it sounds crazy, but they were pushing their computers for designers, artists, people who make magazines. Very like the rise of Adobe, the love of fonts, and this graphic interface was targeted to designers. And now it's in everyone's pocket. So we don't want to make it in everyone's pocket now, maybe in 40 years, 30 years. But now we just want it to make for all creative people who get it, just like people get Apple back then. So we're patient, but that's just a good reminder why we're doing this, because that's scalable, that's big, that can be extremely successful, both for community, for us, for users, for everyone, and beneficial in terms of just the vibe. Like that's a good thing to do. Other system is just old, outdated. Oh, why do you need community module to access sound module? Because that's the business model for now. That would work together, and technically that's how it's done. Eventually, not because lot sound will that's a spoiler alert, but lot sound will appear on your sync page, and you have no access to sync without being subscribed. Maybe we'll change the subscription from community to just be OS. So basically, you subscribe to OS, and now you have access. It's community by default. We might change the name. But yeah, without subscribing to that module, you can't have access to sync, therefore you can have access to lot sound. It's like, maybe we should actually change it to lot OS, the name. You subscribe to lot OS. That by default means you subscribe to community, and then you start add stuff on top. That's an interesting idea. Like, we can separate this community a little bit here, so call it lot OS, and make it like a first button, even different. Like you kind of have to. It's almost like on and off button. You know, you make it on and then you subscribe to modules. You put it off. It's like master switch. It's interesting. Oli, again, we have to make this successful. We want to make money. We want to pay salaries to ourselves. So, respectfully, we will keep this model for now because it's not that much of money, but it really help us to keep going. So it's important for us to keep that. And we need more subscribers and we need to promote this more because for the next couple of months at least this is our only revenue, right? And so besides client work, so we need this very much. Any involvement from Kanye in the future, what he's been doing in Wyoming lately feels very lot. Kanye, I don't want to talk nothing about Kanye. Kanye is the god. He knows everything. He's the future. So if Kanye calls, we in. It's up to him always. Yo, Hamad, thank you for the tweets. It's really, really good. You know, like this one is just such a great observation because that's exactly what it is. I think people, people call us like that. We kind of like we're afraid of the society, or we're running away, or like it's some kind of rebel act, revolution. And this is the nicest way to say, like, no, it's just a fork. Like, that's another version. That's it. We don't want to be here. We don't want to be held down. We don't want to be judged in the way because it's all artificial anyway. So why don't we try to do a version of it, and not from scratch, just a version. Alice, that's a good observation. I hope this will not come true, or if it comes, it will be better than what it is. But people live in Amazon apartment and work remotely for Amazon, like, no, right? That's crazy. So we got to be first. Yeah, it worries me as well. There was an interesting read about the new SpaceX spaceships and how those were driven by design first, functionality second, on purpose to push the industry forward. Yeah, despite all the stuff, I feel like them making extra efforts to make it look beautiful and cool, I appreciate it. Like, yes, of course it flies. Like it's just so badass. Of course it flies. Of course it's going to land itself. That's not the point. It looks cool. Look at those Teslas. Look at those black launching pod. Look at like their cabin. I respect that. Like, there's nothing you can say. This is the best product ever, hands down. Why subscriptions like Costco membership? I guess so. Oli, yes, please. We need more feedback so we make it work, because I can understand the challenges, of course, that sometimes it's not enough, but you see, we update it every week now, and it's a big deal for us. Hold up. Alexander, good question. Let's check this. It's available, but maybe the link doesn't work. It's here. I can see it on the sync page. Interesting. Yeah, I think we need to. I think maybe with Loud Sound, all the mixes should go into one place, because we don't want to send you to SoundCloud. There's no point. Let's add it here. We'll add this to the page. It will appear. Let me do it. Thank you for this debug again. This is very, very important. Looking for the code. I was saying that latest episode is there. Thank you for finding it. Alexander, updated. Any plans for the mobile experience of Loud Sound? That's a good question for Andre. I don't want to speculate. I'm sure it is going to work on mobile, but in the app, definitely something we got to work on. So yeah, I think it will be there, the mobile version. But again, Monday, switch on Monday to find out more. That's a commercial for Monday. Come on. I'm also working on a platform for community-owned and creative brands for digital physical goods. 100% on Kanye being the future. He's been the biggest influence in my work. Would love to share sometime. We're chatting here. You know, after, no offense to no one, obviously, but after meeting with people over and over and over, I find this is the best platform to talk. I think that's the way for us to connect. You know, there is no need. Like everything we do is open anyway. So we have a lot of one-to-one conversations inside the team because it's just a lot of information. But other than that, um, let's connect here and chat here, and it's the best place. Thank you, thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, you can find some secrets for your work, some updates and inspiration. Hopefully it will help. What else? Um, what else? I guess few words about those protests. You know, I will try to be as sensitive as possible. Um, Without going too personal and everything, I think that racism is number one problem in the world, and it really goes beyond comprehension how deep it goes. You know, it's a sickness, it's a disease, and it's a programming that is in the air, and it's extremely hard to notice it sometimes, but it's everywhere, and that creates inequality, classicism, oppression, and it goes as a circle, right? So I'm just, when the pandemic starts, I personally was, again, I just have to say this, guys, you understand, we had this brainstorm conversation here, so I'm not mean nor ill to no one. However, and respectfully to all victims, to all death of this whole shit, I got to say that that's the best thing that happened to us in a long time, because we've been exposed on how broken the society is, and we knew this, we felt it, but there was no way to talk about it, right? And you just kind of keep it to yourself and nod to everyone, say yes and smile and go your corporate way. Now nobody can say that. Everyone knows that it's fact. Not because economy crashed and people lost jobs, but because people spent, for the first time from their childhood, months and months with themselves, and they figure out some crazy stuff, like it's not about money, it's about love. It's not about these meaningless connections, it's about family. Shit, I don't have family. Oh shit, this person I'm with, I can't make family. And those questions, the fundamentals, they finally were asked. And the moment people get a little bit comfortable about that, like, okay, I guess I will survive. I won't, kill myself. I will keep it together somehow. The George Floyd things happened, and everyone just saw how fucked up this whole thing is. And people go into protest police. People not protesting police. People protesting this entire system. Police brutality is the tip of the iceberg of the system that goes deep down to women, genocide of women, classicism, programming of people to make them lower, and everything that Kanye was saying, killing the low self-esteem on all races, putting people against each other, even against genders, like that's fucked up. Goes down to corruption, obviously, is just a result of that, and the rings of power like mafia that controls through drugs, pedophilia, human trafficking, and etc. That whole evil thing is one. It's a one thing, and so we felt it, but we thought that's the only way. Pandemic showed us that you actually don't have to go to work. You don't have to do so many things. You will still be okay. It's not that scary. And now people see that we just need to burn this down. There's no other way. And despite the sadness of all this and just absolute tragedy and kind of, I feel like we can't, go into the void of depression, because it's been here forever, and especially in America, it's been there like every day. It's not like it's happened just now. So why you suppressed all of a sudden? It's the normal day in America, just exposed. And I'm I guess to have some hope, I just hope that this will continue and blow even more to expose this privilege and everything that is unfair, and it can continue. So I'm really happy. Words are limiting, but I'm very happy that this is happening, because that's the change finally. And it won't work by protest alone. We needed this pandemic together. We needed fucking Trump to show what's going on. We needed everything to show what's actually happening. And these corporations that react with, I hate politics. I don't go there, but I'm just saying this is a great moment in time. We are very lucky to be here, because the psychedelic revolution is happening. People being connected to God without institution, and there's just all positive things. And I hope that you see this, and we just now more than ever, I'm confident in all kind of process. Just don't go there. Don't work with the society. It's evil. It's rotten. It's doomed. There's no need to support it. The whole thing. The old family institution. I'm pro family, but the way it's set up, no. The way the oppression, the women, the masculinity, all that stuff is broken completely. The entertainment, the escape drugs of all kinds, brainwashing, kids being in school till they 20, like that's all just so crazy to me. Like, who come up with this stuff? Like, we live in under this Christianity rule, and I can relate to Christianity, but Christianity is not God. It's just a version of it. So us oh yeah, Don, you don't get it. I will ban you. Sorry, Don. That's why, Don, we live in this fucked up life, because people like you. Anyway, yeah, we got to burn it down by all means. You don't have to go and just, I'm not saying like go there and burn the city with fire, but definitely burn the mindset that you have. That's what I recommend. That's what I'm doing. Just burn down this approach to life, that fear that you think that you understand and you think that you control it, but you have no idea what's actually going on. You have no idea how it's set up. And I'm not saying that I know, but I just know that, at least I know that that's not the correct way, because I can feel it. And I trust my feelings. I've been taught by the greatest to do that. Like, I just trust my feelings. If it doesn't feel good, it's not it. You already have a ultimate sensor, the ultimate system built in you. to tell you yes or no. Why you keep asking this question? Why you keep challenging that? So if it doesn't feel right, it's not it. It's simple as that. So yeah, to me, we just have to really. We had this interesting conversation with Joe on Wednesday, and there was a question of contract, and I really liked it because, yeah. By the way, another commercial. Wednesdays are conversation. Join in every Wednesday. It's interesting and fun. We just had one on this Wednesday. I really enjoyed it. But I'm just saying that there was an interesting question about contracts, that we all kind of sign up to some contract, and we agree to these contracts. One of the contracts is being rent. Like we all sign up to this contract thing, of living into the city, or going to school, or having a kids and they go to school. Like, who says that? Why? Why that's the only way? I don't get it. And so we all just kind of drown in those contracts and bills that we created to ourselves, and then we complain about them. I have this contract, I have this contract, I have this obligation, I have this bill to pay, but why are you doing this? Like, you can't escape that. It's very simple. Just say no, boom, you switch off. That's it. And very few people do this because the candy that they advertise is sweet, but that candy is still sweet without them. Like God is a very sweet candy. You don't have to be obligated to that society to have access to that. Love is a very sweet candy. It's free. Nature. You travel once per week to some nature with full of anxiety, and you feel good for a second. And then you're like, okay, I will go back to the shit. And then maybe next Saturday I will go again to nature. Why? Why don't you live in nature if you feel so good? And so that whole conversation led us to, I don't mean to be posh or like teaching anyone. Again, I just talking to myself, I hope this will be interesting or helpful to someone, but my mind works that I even talk to myself like in the mirror and stuff, because that's the only way for me to, I hear this for the first time with you, like I don't really practice. But that contract thing was very interesting because we got to the idea that yes, there's a contract, but it has to be contract to yourself. And we don't, like, how many people don't have that? Like, you subscribe to all kind of bullshit, everything, to other people, to guilt, to shame, to your parents. You subscribe to the city rules, to the government rules, to money rules. You subscribe to rent. You subscribe to fake freedom ideas. You subscribe to letting go of love. But you don't subscribe to yourself. And that's the first contract you have to sign. I love myself. I care about myself. I am with myself. What make me me? Why I'm here? Those are the terms in the contract that you didn't read and I didn't read. And now I'm 35 and I'm like looking back and like, fuck, why did I sign that shit? And where was this contract before? Why nobody showed me this contract? So there's no comparison to the pain, obviously. Like that, the American oppression is beyond explanation. You really have to know the details and research it to understand that it goes deep and it's extremely evil. Like, it's just beyond. I'm just saying that we got to change our mindset and burn those contracts, like for real. Otherwise, there's no change. And if anything, what we're trying to do with this organization, we got to be organization. We got to stay a company, because that's how you organize people to make a bigger thing that you can't do by yourself. And we have to grow this organization. We have to grow this company. You can even say we have to grow this corporation, but we have to grow it with the new mindset and burn everything that was there before. That's it. And there's no other way for me. And if that will be not successful, then okay, fuck it. Next life. We'll see each other in 80 years, in next reincarnation. But this time, we got to try to burn this shit down, And there's no rules. And education that people are proud of, it's important, obviously, but you have to be very selective what to keep and what to burn. Parents, very important, but you can't live with guilt and shame your whole life. You have to be very selective of that emotions. Love, personal life, you can't live for someone else, but on the other hand, you have to make everything for love, right? There are principles of life that are hard to make and understand, but that's exactly what we're after, is to design products that will force people to change the fundamentals, not the superficial stuff, not a nice product this year, a nice product this month, or something nice to wear, or a good present on someone's birthday. Right? No, we want to challenge the fundamentals, and I probably will unleash this talk because it goes kind of a little too loud, but you get me. That's the idea. Thank you, Gulak. Yeah, I agree. I think that even, objectively, I keep saying, lot is an escape, in a good escape. It's something that I want to see in the world, and period. I just want to work on this. So to me, I just see there's nothing else. I can't imagine anything else. We work with clients, we do a lot of work, but still, that feels anxious sometimes because it's not all the way, and what we're trying to do is go all the way, break this mentality of you, as Joe says, of you being always right, of you being trying to be in control, of you trying to control others, like strategize, like Kanye says. Don't do that. It really doesn't work. And trusting the gut feeling, trusting your inner voice is the art form that very few mastered, and there are no tools available for that. Very few tools. You can say like, okay, just get some drugs, and no, it's not that easy. To unlock your inner voice and be trusted. It's scary. Okay, you hear it, but will you follow it? And we need tools that will help you to follow your inner voice, not just hear it. Because hearing, okay, you can get it. It's a technical question, but trusting it, it's really an act of bravery, because we are so programmed, we're sucked into this reality. And you feel it's wrong, but you still not following it. Like, anyway, I think that's a good moment to finish this. I really wanted to talk about this, of course, but it's always sad to think about this. It feels like no matter how good life is and how tasty food is, we are so behind of just basic understanding, basic knowledge. We are like so evil at our core and so broken at our core that no tasty food and no good music can cure this, So it feels sad that we are end up in this position, and we didn't really choose it. We just being forced to be here. And lack of education, say, on global level. But hopefully we have some time to fix it and help our kids to live a freer life. Not a hippie life, but a freer life. There's a difference. It's not an escape. It's a full life. We don't want kids to live in the forest and eat roots. That's not the point. The point is to keep innovation, but understand why it's happening. Keep progress, but not make it for them. Make it for you. Not make it for military or government, or make it for the society that's worth it. For the kids, Make sure that there's less pain every day, because it's fucked, guys. It's really, really, really behind. And I'm just getting upset because we can think about future and have these renderings and plan products, but reality is that we are on a very basic level of comprehension of what's going on. And yes, because information is limited, of course, 100%. Like, there's more to know and understand, but also because that fear is programmed in us, And it's not just easy to be like, okay, I don't afraid anymore. Like, how many times you said this? How many times I said it to myself? And no, every morning you feel anxious. Every morning you feel that something is off, although everything's perfect. And to me, that fear, to remove that fear is, which is the root of racism and everything, that is a hardcore task, And that task that is not fixable by watching a movie or reading a book or hanging out with right people. It's not fixable with some meditation or with some drugs. That's like, you have to deprogram you, and to deprogram you have to break you, and that's only brave people can do. And I'm not saying I did it. I'm saying I wish I can do this. So I wish you a successful breakdown, and then we will put ourselves together back. Peace out.